Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the hidden technology that quietly runs, well, our entire modern world. It's this massive digital infrastructure that operates completely in the background, yet it shapes almost literally every physical move we make. I'm super excited to share this with you because, honestly, once you see it, you're never going to look at a map the same way again. I mean, think about it for a second. How exactly does your city know the absolute optimal spot to build a new hospital? Or on a much more personal level, how does your phone instantly know the absolute fastest route home when traffic is a total nightmare? You actually rely on this tech every single day without even realizing it. From ordering food delivery to tracking massive global health crises, there's this invisible web of data connecting the whole shebang. To deliver on our 10-minute promise, we're covering 1. What is GIS? 2. A brief history of mapping. 3. How GIS actually works. 4. Real-world GIS applications. 5. Privacy, ethics, and surveillance. And 6. Careers in spatial sciences. Let's get right into it. Section 1. What is GIS? So the big acronym here is GIS, which stands for Geographic Information System. Simply put, it's a computer-based framework for gathering, managing, analyzing, and displaying spatial and geographic data. But look, it's absolutely crucial to understand that a GIS is way, way more than just a digital map. It's this highly dynamic tool that links the where, so your spatial coordinates, with the what, your attribute data. It doesn't just show you where a school is located on a map. No, it tells you exactly how many students attend, the year it was built, what the local demographics look like. You get the idea. Now, this whole system is built on 5 essential pillars. First, you've got your hardware, computers, mobile devices, all that. Then, your software tools, like ArcGIS, QGIS, or Atlas. Third is the data itself, which, let's be real, is arguably the most important piece. But pay close attention to these last two, methods and people. Because honestly, all that fancy technology is completely useless without intelligent workflows and the dedicated professionals actually interpreting the data to drive real-world decisions. Section 2. A brief history of mapping. So to appreciate the maps in our pockets, we kind of need to time travel a bit, right? Mapping data is definitely not a new concept. In fact, a huge foundational moment happened way back in 1854. British physician Dr. John Snow actually mapped the locations of a cholera outbreak in London alongside the city's water lines. By visually connecting geography to public health, the guy practically invented modern spatial analysis on the spot. Fast forward to 1960, and Roger Tomlinson, who's widely known as the father of GIS, creates the very first computerized system to manage Canada's natural resources. By 65, the Harvard lab is pushing computer mapping software called CIMAP. And then, in 1981, a company named Esri releases Arc/Info. That took the technology commercial and basically sparked a massive software evolution. Section 3. How GIS actually works. Okay, let's look at the actual mechanics. The absolute best way to visualize how GIS works is through this transparent sheets analogy. Just imagine taking a bunch of perfectly clear, transparent sheets of paper and stacking them on top of each other. The bottom sheet just shows land elevation. Then the next sheet shows rivers. Next one shows roads, and the top sheet displays population density. By stacking all these layers of information together, analysts can instantly spot relationships and patterns that would literally be impossible to see on just a flat traditional paper map. It's like building a giant spatial puzzle. And when it comes to the actual data making up those sheets, we've got a bit of a geographic heavyweight boxing match going on. Vector versus raster data. In one corner, we have vector data. This uses incredibly precise coordinates, so points, lines, and polygons, to represent discrete features. Think of perfectly outlined building footprints or exact road networks. And in the opposite corner, we have raster data. This is made up of grids of pixels or cells, and it's used for continuous features, like a sweeping satellite image of a dense forest or a huge elevation model. Both are absolutely critical to how modern mapping functions. And you know, this software managing all this data has evolved big time too. Traditional desktop GIS, like Esri's ArcGIS or the open-source QGIS, well, they require some heavy installation, but they give you those robust, industry-standard tools you need for heavy-duty, complex spatial operations. But on the flip side, we're seeing the explosive rise of modern cloud GIS. Platforms like Atlas operate entirely in your web browser. No installation, plus you get real-time collaboration with multiple users editing a map at the exact same time. It is a total game changer that's truly democratizing map-making for everyone. Section 4. Real-world GIS applications. Let's see this in action because GIS isn't just an academic exercise. It is an absolute problem-solving powerhouse out in the real world. In urban planning, companies like Fugro use aerial LiDAR to map out the Scottish rail network, identifying the exact locations where overgrown vegetation risks train safety. In public health, that Johns Hopkins COVID-19 dashboard we were all glued to, that relied entirely on GIS mapping. For social equity, back in 2010, researchers used spatial data to identify food deserts in Chicago, proving certain neighborhoods literally lacked walking access to fresh produce, and that directly changed city policy. Add in things like rapid damage assessments after natural disasters or tracking those horrifying 2020 Australian bushfires to coordinate live evacuations, and it's crystal clear this tech is saving lives and resources on a massive, massive scale. Section 5. Privacy, Ethics, and Surveillance. Now, as with any great technological power, there is an inevitable dark layer we have to impartially explore here. The scientific literature points out a really deep tension between the incredible benefits of geospatial innovation and the very real risk to individual rights. Scholars have warned for a long time about the creation of what they call digital individuals. See, because our personal data is constantly linked to our geographic locations, it creates these complex digital profiles. Researchers note this is facilitating a societal transformation toward a surveillance-intensive paradigm, which is often referred to as dataveillance. This immense collection of location-based data raises totally valid debates over unauthorized access, the erosion of privacy, and the ethical responsibilities of the people managing these powerful systems. It's a massive ongoing challenge to balance all this innovation with protecting our fundamental freedoms. Section 6. Careers in Spatial Sciences. So, the crucial takeaway here is that navigating these massive data sets, building these tools, and frankly, solving these tough ethical dilemmas, it requires human expertise. This rapidly expanding field desperately needs people. Because of the sheer versatility and necessity of GIS across almost every sector of the economy, the job market is booming. The global GIS industry is projected to nearly double its market size by 2030, and the salaries definitely reflect that demand. A geospatial data scientist can command a median salary of $137,000 simply due to their advanced technical expertise in building the algorithms that make all this analysis possible. Geospatial engineers and GIS developers, they're also seeing highly lucrative compensation well over the six-figure mark. Which basically brings us full circle on our explainer today. We've layered history, technology, real-world impact, and ethics into one complete picture. So I want to leave you with this provocative thought. As you move through the world today, what does your own digital individual footprint actually look like? And perhaps more importantly, are you ready to step into this spatial revolution and learn the tools to map it yourself?